Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Pittsburgh. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. This is Miller, complete. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, now Roethlisberger. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 8 and a first down.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out of the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Roethlisberger will throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Got him in. It's Brown. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defenders' minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
The Steelers send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And leading him out, their veteran quarterback.
You almost feel privileged, partner, every time you get to see him run out in the field to start a game, because every game, every snap, you and I both know he has potential to do something special. And that inspires his teammates as well. They know how incredible he is. They want to give max effort as well.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. Oh, the first play of the game going to be intercepted. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Well, certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They'll have very good starting field position here after the turnover as they search for the first points of the ball game. Quick pass out to Miller. So he stopped for no gain, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 10. That's complete to Ward. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes it's just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
He's got his target. That's complete. Touchdown from 17 yards out. And the Steelers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it, trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now 3rd down and 7. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they have to give up the football again after this one.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Returnable now for Woodson. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give him 5 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger. He completes this into the hands of Miller. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A busy first quarter. His third catch of the afternoon is a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Here's Roethlisberger. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 39. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. Second down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Now it's Roethlisberger. That is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. He's going deep for Brown. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will extend their lead even further. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Cincinnati set to take over once again. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
The Steelers ready for their next possession. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 9. Now it's Roethlisberger. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 from Bengals TD. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
Now for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Back to the air, Roethlisberger after the pick 6. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. He's got the hook up to Miller. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Now Roethlisberger to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, They threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd down, Burrow. And that's complete. It's Green here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just 1 throw.
It'll be a gain of 5. And it'll be 2nd down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that's incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
It's a short one here, and I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. They're already trailing here in this first quarter. Last thing they needed was to cough the football. Well, they coughed it up, but luckily for them, it went out of bounds.
Yeah, still a long way to go, but when you're losing, every possession takes on a little bit more importance, doesn't it? And in that case, they almost made this game a lot more difficult for themselves by turning it over. Fortunate there.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Okay, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Again, it's Burrow. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 40. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
And that's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
First down. Here's Burrow. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, Burrow. And this one nearly intercepted. Oh, that's a ball he thinks he should have had. Instead, maybe a chance for the offense to get 3 out of it after all. 4th down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
So it's 4th and 1. They wind up taking the 3, but I'm not sure that that offensive unit, judging by the sideline, Charles, was in 100% agreement with the decision.
No, not at all, but the head coach has final call on this. We know that. But let's face it, offenses want to feel like, hey, you believe in us, let us go for it. We'll see if that is a problem for them moving forward in this game.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And now out come the Steelers. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Here's 2nd and 10. They hand this off to Harris, and he'll be brought down here at the 28. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. These 2 teams all tied after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Looking for Chase on the out route. He's got him. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow. And the reception made by Green. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 43. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st.
Well, with the problems they've had giving away the football in this first half, they've got to be over the moon that this is still a tie ball game. So here's where a quarterback has to move the turnovers to the back of his mind and focus on the present. And that's a good throw there to pick up a 1st down.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. And the Bengals on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Burrow. He'll get this into the hands of Dillon, complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw complete there to Johnson. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 15-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. This will be incomplete. Oh, a dream chance for a D lineman, but he couldn't pull that one in.
And that's another throw that could have been intercepted. Part of this, you credit the defense. They've been really stingy. But he's also made some really questionable throws, and that's another one right there.
And Burrow going to throw again. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up 1st and goal.
Dillon. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He'll check this down, complete to Dillon. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Flush to his right. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A 6-yard touchdown run, and the Bengals have taken the lead.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision, and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits were on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 17-10 score. The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Roethlisberger. And he slings one that's incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
This offense so far on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to look deep here for Ward. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. You don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
The Steelers send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They will throw on first down with Burrow. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. He couldn't get away there on third down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Ooh, the juke. It'll be a 39-yard punt, give him a good 10 yards on the return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. He's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now Roethlisberger. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. Fourth down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game. And
ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, The goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide, because that's prime pick-6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
Second and 10 now, Burrow. He dumps this off to Dillon underneath. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Burrow will throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
But whatever they called on defense, they made sure they were ready for the pass on that snap, made the proper adjustments, and helped force an incompletion.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Over the middle, it's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. first down. Here's Burrow. And he's got his big tight end here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now Burrow on first down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring him second down.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. To the air again, Burrow. An off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19. Fourth down, so Zach Taylor sends out the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And this one is right through, and that'll make this a 7-point game. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Graham now to boot it away after the made field goal. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now it's Roethlisberger. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
The Steelers send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now, the Bengal offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. Open man downfield is Johnson. Now he breaks free in the middle of the field. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Bengals will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. And what I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And now to give us momentum going into the second half, give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Roethlisberger to throw. That's complete to Ward. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This from 54 yards away. And that is no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
Yeah, it's been a disappointing first half for them, all things considered. And this can serve as the capper. It's a missed field goal in the late going, and that's only going to serve to lessen the mood even further.
They'll begin the drive with a run by Dillon. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Bengal offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Burrow. And the reception made by Green. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Dillon on the inside give. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And they go play action now. Burrow. And this is going to be incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's trying to get as much as he can. Boy, a lot's going to depend on the spot. But they're going to give it to him. He needed 5. He didn't get much more than that. But it's enough and a first down. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Up the middle they run. Here's Dillon. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. So that potentially a turning point here this third quarter. A two-score lead down to one now following the pick six.
And that had to be the message at halftime for this defense, delivered and accepted. We need to go out there and make something happen.
Extra point now by Boswell. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. And you wonder, I mean, is it even possible, especially for the quarterback, to mentally reset after that quick of a turnaround?
Well, we're certainly going to find out, aren't we? Because that play will stay in your mind, but somehow you have to compartmentalize, put it aside, pick yourself up, and get moving in the right direction.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. We often give credit to the O-line there. Two tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Burrow's throw taken in by Green here. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find the answers, and they've got to find them quick.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Now it's Burrow. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is 1 play from stalling out.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
Zach Taylor, a new breed of head coach. He's going to go for it on 4th down. Now it's Burrow. He's got his target. That's complete. And the Bengals are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Dillon again, but he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
And now third and goal coming up, the loss on second down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Third and goal, Burrow. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass, and the Bengals go up by 2 touchdowns. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead now up to 14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he returns this to the 22. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Harris starts the drive on the ground, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on second and 12. Roethlisberger will throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Completes it to Miller. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be fourth down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They go play action with Burrow. Short pass, Eifert on the receiving end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Running up the middle, here's Dillon. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Burrow will throw. Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. And he gets this early to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Now the Steelers getting set and ready for their next possession. The last series form, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Harris. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Score that tackle for loss to the Wyoming alumnus, Logan Wilson.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, complete. That's Bell. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Quick hitter here, it's complete. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. That's complete. It's Bell. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They'll give this to Bell running right. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Here's a 2nd and 8. Here's Roethlisberger. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And the Bengals are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23. So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack.
Mike Tomlin has reached for that red challenge flag, and he'll throw it out there.
Previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
Review the play. Ruling on the field is reversed.
Winds up a very good call there defensively to challenge that one, as that now will wind up an incomplete pass. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, they got a takeaway on the last drive with an interception. How about this sack as a terrific follow-up? And that keeps pressure on this offense, and it could force them into more rush decisions or another turnover.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
The Bengals getting set to go. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Play action. It's Burrow. Got his man. It's Eifert. And he is going to lose yardage here. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
Now Burrow to throw on 2nd down. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI.
No.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. They'll run a toss here with Dillon. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
He'll try again, and he will again go backwards as they drive him back to the 4-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked them back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available, and they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Now it's Roethlisberger. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Roethlisberger. Setting up the screen, Harris. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long, because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
Here we go. It's Roethlisberger on 4th down. And he is going to have the Steelers' first down as he's brought to the ground after a gain of 7, 5 more than he needed on 4th and 2. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. So they get the interception, and almost as importantly, a big return after that.
And who was the guy that saved the touchdown, partner? The guy who threw the interception. A lot of times, he just gives it the old Olay, but give him credit. He went old school. He was determined not to make this a pick 6, and he got there in time to make the tackle.
The Bengals offense getting set and ready to go again here. And now they are in prime position, 1st and goal after the interception and return. They'll look to make it pay off for 6 points. How about this starting field position? 1st and goal from 2 yards out. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And it's caught. Touchdown, Bengals. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th. So definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown pass as they're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, 4th quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
A screen to Bell. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Roethlisberger. Slant route to Miller. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On 3rd and 1, it's Roethlisberger. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Ben to throw again. It's brought in by Harris. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it's 2nd down. Here's Roethlisberger. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Miller. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
But we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
This will be caught once again by Brown. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. This will be caught by Brown. No gain on the play. And it's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with a football. The Bengals drive about to get going. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Returnable now for Woodson. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Pittsburgh.